What I'm talking about is becoming who I expect other men to be. Friends, welcome back. I am the Jason. There's a lot of Jasons out there. I've come to realize, seems like everyone I know is named Jason these days, but there's only one the Jason, and just so happens, fortunately for me, I am the Jason. Like 124 and a half. So super excited this morning. Luckily I was able to get a buck, a good size buck too. It would have been an 8-pointer, if probably 8 or 9-pointer probably, if it wasn't for a busted off antler on one side. I would love to be able to show you guys more of the hunting process and the turning of a wild animal into something that's edible. However, if I was to put that on the internet, which I have before, it would most likely be demonetized, perhaps get my channel a strike, and be removed from the internet. And now, most of you watching probably would agree with me, but I guess it's worth saying nevertheless that all the things that we used to admire, we used to look up to, a lot of the things, the traditional things that we used to partake in, like hunting, for example, is looked down upon, and it is deemed by our society as primitive and barbaric. If you were to talk to one of our ancestors 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 400 years ago, if you were to talk to one of our ancestors and said, you know what, great-great-great-great-great-great-great-granddad, one day they will look at hunters and they will cast them out. They will shun them. Hunters will be a disgrace. Our ancestors would have been like, what are you talking about? Hunting is a part of life. It is a way of life. It's how we feed our families. I am doing my best to hold on, to salvage what's left of masculinity. At least I feel like I'm doing my part to hold on to the masculine traditions that a lot of us still hold near and dear to our hearts. Like hunting, for example. Not just hunting, but building, and working with your hands. There was a time when, a skilled craftsman was an admired person, a person in society that everyone looked up to and wanted to be like. Young men wanted to grow up and be like that master craftsman. They wanted to learn from him. And I feel like that's something that's missing from our lives these days. I think it's coming around. I think there's a transition happening, mostly because of how boisterous and how blown out of proportion all of the, crazy blue-haired people of the world have become. Now there's being a pushback towards traditional values and beliefs, and masculinity is not shunned as much. I feel like that's happening. I feel like there's some sort of pushback now to save the traditional ways, to be strong and capable of great violence, and to be a warrior used to be a really admirable thing. And I think it's coming back. I think it's coming back in style. And unfortunately, one of these days it's going to be required of us to be strong and to be brave and to be violent, perhaps. Hopefully not. But we need to be capable of it at a minimum. I want to be capable of it. I'm flawed in a lot of ways and I'm weak in a lot of ways. But I want to be stronger. I want to be better. I want to be a stronger man for my wife, for my kids, for the people in my community. I want to be somebody in the community that young men look up to and say, yep, that's how I want to model my life. I think we should all aspire to be that. I think something's wrong if we're not wanting that, if we don't want people to admire us, I mean, it's not that I care so much what people think, you know, in a popular sort of fashion. That's not what I mean. I don't want to be the most popular guy on the block or, you know, the coolest kid in school. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is becoming who I expect other men to be, and pushing myself and reaching for goals and learning new skills and being willing to admit that I don't know everything, and saying what is true, speaking the truth no matter what. That's a difficult thing to do, and I think that's a place where I'm weak, that I need improvement upon, is speaking what is true no matter what, no matter whose feelings get hurt, no matter how it makes me look. Speak the truth no matter what. We've all, I think, you know, felt the temptation to do the wrong thing, to stay quiet when maybe we should say something. We've all felt the urge to fit in when what we should be doing is going against the grain, swimming upstream, not following the crowd. I need to constantly remind myself to do that, to go against the grain, to be different, to be better. What I want is my son especially. My girls, of course, obviously, but my son especially. I want him to see me do that. I want him to see me put my boots on each and every single day and go out and get to work and get after it and say things that are true and stick up for what's right, and to be brave and be courageous despite what other people think, what other people do. I want to be better. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of the world shunning truth. I mean, yes, I killed a deer, a living, breathing creature. I killed a buck today. Yes, that is absolutely true. I did that. And I take 100% responsibility for taking that life. And now that life will sustain my family. Now, I'm not saying I'm living off the land and I feed my family with 100% wild meat. And I'm not rewilding. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about owning it and taking responsibility. If you're a vegan, sure, and you're anti-animal killing, if you don't even eat an egg because you feel that it's wrong, sure, all right. I think it's weird, but you know, you do you. But for those people that just are anti-hunting but still eat meat, I find you to be ridiculous. I do not understand that way of thinking. That train of thought makes no sense to me. It sounds like hypocrisy. I think if you eat meat, you should be willing to do the deed. You know, I don't like killing animals. I don't enjoy killing a wild animal. It's not fun to me. I mean, I enjoy the hunt and I enjoy the challenge of it. Don't get me wrong. But there's still a part of me every single time before I squeeze that trigger. I think to myself, do I want to kill this animal? And sometimes I don't. I've looked through the sights at animals before and decided not to pull the trigger just because it didn't feel right at the time. So I was carrying this 2x8 up the hill, and as I ducked underneath this the side of my structure here, my hat flipped down over my eyes, and I had my hands full with the saw and I couldn't see where I was going. I'm an idiot. So something very unmasculine, something that I'm not proud of, a flaw of mine, is that I avoid confrontation. And I need to work on that. I am working on that. Thankfully, I've got buddies that I trust, people that I trust in my life that can be honest with me and tell me when I'm lacking in an area. And for that, I'm extremely grateful. Because I truly want to be better. And if you're a true friend, you'll tell somebody when they got something stuck in their teeth. You know, you'll let them know, and you won't just let it go to avoid the uncomfortable conversation that might spark from it. So I need to work on that. I mean, I'm not saying I want to go out and be one of those guys that's looking for confrontation. That's not it at all. But I need to stop avoiding it. If something needs to be said, say it. Speak the truth no matter what. And don't put things off. If conversations need to be had with people, be brave enough to have that confrontation right then and there, because delaying it generally makes things worse. As I get older and as I surround myself with strong men that I trust, I am becoming aware of my weaknesses more and more, and I'm working on those weaknesses. And with each day that passes, I become a little bit better. I become a little bit stronger, a little bit more masculine. So another key factor, I think, that separates the men from the boys, if you will, is doing the things you don't feel like doing. I led a talk the other day, a little seminar on motivation, because I guess people look at me and they think I'm a highly motivated individual. I don't know, I got a lot of spunk, I guess. I don't know. But I get easily excited, I think, is what leads people to believe that. One of the key topics that I discussed was that motivation is not going to be there for you when you need it. You got to go get it. Motivation is not something that just shows up, when you're ready. You've got to go get the motivation. If you wait for motivation to come, it'll never happen, and you'll end up just sitting on your butt all day doing nothing. And that's what separates men from the boys, I think. Men are the ones that get out there no matter what. It's raining, it's cold, it's miserable. I don't feel like it. I'm tired. I've done enough. I've worked hard enough. That's not the way men should be. Men should be the ones that put their boots on, they get up, and they go do the things every single day, whether they feel like it or not. Because it's the right thing to do. Because it's necessary. Because the people that we love count on us. Because our children, our wives, they need us to be better. They need us to be stronger. They need us to provide. They need us to protect. And that's what we were designed to do. That's what we're here for. And denying that is wrong. That is wrong. Denying that there's a difference between men and women is wrong. There's a huge difference. It's undeniable. If you deny that, you're lying to yourself. And I just can't even fathom it. I don't know. Today's society has gotten so weird, so screwed up. And the wrong person watches this video and I'll get reported and banned from the internet probably. But there's a huge difference between men and women, and we all have our strengths. We all have our gifts. So maybe if I could give you guys some advice when it comes to motivation, is that fake it till you make it. That's a tactic that works for me a lot of times. It's like, I don't feel like coming out here and working on this right now. I don't feel like exercising and sweating profusely and being on the verge of vomiting. I don't feel like that. That doesn't sound fun to me. I don't enjoy that kind of stuff. But it's necessary. So I force myself to do it. And once I get going, once I get started, it's generally not that bad. Once you get your boots on and you get out there in the cold and your hands go numb, it's okay then. At that point, you're already there. You might as well keep going, and then the motivation comes. Fake it till you make it. Get started. Do the right thing. Say the truth no matter what. Be strong. Carry on masculine traditions. Don't avoid confrontation. Do the right thing every chance you get. Guys, I really do appreciate you watching. Hopefully I haven't rambled on too much for you. If you like these videos, if you like the content that I've been producing, please consider subscribing. There's a whole lot of guys and girls that watch my videos on a regular basis and you're not subscribed. So if you don't mind, just go ahead and hit that button, subscription button, and the notifications bell. That way you get a little bit of a heads up when I produce a new video. I'm trying to put out a video pretty much every single day, at least 5 days a week. Usually 6 is what my goal is, trying to take off Sundays. But I'm trying to put out a video every single day, so I don't want you to miss it. But make sure you're hitting the thumbs up, subscribing, And until next time, what's the worst that could happen? Let's just go on 3.
Get a snack?
No, you guys have to help.
I already got a snack.
I didn't, and I'm hungry.
And Scarlett already got a snack.
Give me a snack.
You're just like your mother.
Go away.
Beautiful, but she won't let me film you.
No.
Yeah.
No. Stay with me. I can drill a hole in your face.
Excellent work. That was perfect.
I don't know if I cut it.
That was perfect, dude. Put that other 2x4 over there, the one you took loose.